They're different things. But what they say and what they do are two different things. We'll have to see what they do. We're hearing what they say. What they say.
So I was wondering, let's just start off with, how did you get started in music?
Well, like a lot of people, music is just a core element of life. So I grew up in a big Irish family outside of Boston. So we were making music, we were playing sports, we would go to church, we would, study hard, play hard, fight a lot. And, music was just something that was around. Everybody kind of played the piano. At a certain point, there weren't enough people, enough time on the piano bench. So we were rummaging around in the attic and found my mother's old trumpet. And I was the one who could actually make a good sound. So they said, give him some lessons, send him off. And then as a high school student, I met Leonard Bernstein and Seiji Ozawa and all these incredible classical musicians who encouraged me to go to school. And I went to Juilliard and did all the summer music festivals at Tanglewood and Waterloo and Aspen music festivals and things like that. So after Juilliard, I just kept on running, kept on rolling, and trying to create some kind of beauty, some kind of inspiration. The world in the 70s and 80s of classical music was really, really tight. It had to be a certain kind of academic music or it wasn't appreciated. So there was a high art, low art separation where people said that jazz or rock and roll or rap or hip hop wasn't as good as classical. The world has changed now, it's all mixed up and it's really kind of cool. And so Fulcrum Point, the idea of that is that fusion or that tipping point, that leverage point where tradition and innovation come together, where acoustic and electronic come together, where composition and improvisation come together, where sound and spirit come together, and perhaps that's where art and politics come together. And this is where our peace concerts come up. This is where we try to really create contexts so that people can appreciate their world and ask relevant questions about what does it mean to be human, what does it mean to be an artist, and I don't hold the answers. The art holds the answers.
So you were saying a little bit before our interview about something called new art music.
What is new, what is music, and what is art is completely subjective, depending on whether or not you've ever heard of it before, whether you think it's music or art. I call it new art music because it's a completely open possibility. And I think that is where true creativity and appreciation come together. Well, film is kind of perfect, actually, when you talk about contextualization of new art music, because the music is what imbues the imagery with its intensity, whether you're talking about David Lynch, or if you're talking about Hitchcock, or if you're talking about somebody like Anderson and There Will Be Blood, where the music creates this elemental, emotional vibe that completely carries the narrative. I mean, when you think about Jaws, what would that be without Williams' sound score and that menacing bass line? It just wouldn't happen. The same thing with the shower scene of the violins. And so what I love about the pairing of experimental new art music and film is that people are more willing to go beyond their comfort zone when they're experiencing something that's shot in beautiful, whether it's 72 millimeter or incredible original black and white. They're willing to really, really go into the pure essence of the experience. I'm a synthesizer. I love to bring cultures together from different directions. I love to bring different media together. And I love to bring people together. As we go forward, my next project is called Discoveries, Hear and Be Heard, which is an opportunity for young composers to present their music to the public, for the musicians to play it, and we all talk about it, and the audience to give their feedback, for the audience to be heard. I find that's really exciting. The Discoveries events happen on the third Wednesday of every month. It's the fulcrum point of the fulcrum point, meaning that it's the middle of the week and it's the middle of the month, and it happens like that. December is our peace concert, which is with the Chicago Gamelan Ensemble, which is a community-based ensemble working out of the Mana Contemporary space at High Concept Labs down in Bridgeport, and they're looking for new members. They're looking for people to play Balinese gamelan music, which is so spiritually uplifting. It's amazing.